came across a drifting ship. I took a look inside. I found a note that someone wrote that said, take her for a ride. I set a course for sights unseen, went out to open sea. To my surprise, a bunch of sailors joined along with me. Now we're sailing on the mystery ship, and all the sailors here are really hip. There isn't any cost of membership. All you gotta do is join our trip. Yeah, I'm the captain of the mystery ship, and I'm a-calling all aboard this ship. I'm really hoping that you'll enjoy it up on the mystery ship. So bring a friend and come along with us aboard the mystery ship.
Good evening, my friends from around the horn. How are you doing out there? My name is Zoso Dude, and each and every Sunday night, I try to come to you at 6 p.m. when I can. When I can. How is it going out there? I hope you're doing wonderfully. Let me get a look at you. There you are. There you are in all your glory. What's going on with my camera? Camera is looking a little funky. We can kind of see the Harley, kind of see the other stuff in the background. The waves sound like they're a little rambunctious. Let's knock those down just a tad. Just a tad. All right. All right. Are we live everywhere we are supposed to be? Let's look at Pilled Foxhole. Oh, we've got wonderful people pouring in at Pilled Foxhole. Good to see you aboard. Welcome, my friends. Welcome. I'm seeing Girl Patriot. Thank you, darling, for your support of this program. Blonde BLQ. Good to see you. Doodah Man in the house. He's bringing the love. May not be awake, but appreciate all that you do. Buddy, thanks for being here, man. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. It's 9 o'clock back there. It's very easy to shut your eyes and just drift off. Go ahead and do it. Yeah. Prairie Fire is in the house. Willie Fix-It is with us. Good to see you. Did I see my buddy LT? Was he the first guy in the door? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. First sailor aboard. Sigurd. Sigurd has joined us, and it looks like 3 Beer Men is coming my way. Wonderful to have you all joining us at this point. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Great to see you. Thank you, 3 Beer Men, for the incoming raid. It means oodles to me. How about over at the other set of champions? We've got our Foxhole champions, and we've got our D-Live champions. There's no shortage of sailors over there. We've got a nice clear picture going on there. Peggy Dancer is with us. How are you doing, kiddo? Val Kimber in the house. Jayla17 is with us. TL Spud, my bud. What is going down, brother? Mad Pogue spreading the love. Willie Fix-It is also hanging out there. Gloria Paddock came roaring in her yellow ninja guinea. Great to see you. Thank you so much for your support, darling. And to you, Peggy Dancer, and to you, Bad Zoot, both of you. Our gang has salutes. Thank you, ladies, for your support of the show. It is ever so appreciated. It really is. Really is. Wonderful folks hanging out. Wonderful folks hanging out on the other half of the champions. There's no shortage of champions this evening. We've got 2 full channels of them. Let's see what they're doing over at Rumble. Maddie F&B. Hope everyone is doing well as positively possible. He's floating on air after a great weekend with his lovely chick named Steph. Well, good for you, my brother. Good for you. There seems to be 8 people hanging over there. Salute to the Rumblers, whoever you are out there. Glad to have you aboard. Very glad to see your smiling faces aboard the mystery ship. I took your advice, Maddie, and I watched that movie last night. That I had one eye open. I actually have to tell you, fell asleep and watched the rest of it this morning because I couldn't keep my eyes open last night. Boy, it was a whirlwind weekend, and I shall explain. It actually leads right into tonight's story, so that's all good. It's all good, but thanks for the hot tip, my man. Very much appreciated. Wow, we've got a bunch of sailors turning in over YouTube. Imagine that. Denise is here, the first one in the door. Dandy 002, did I see you? Hey, my man, what's going down? Rick Carmen is with us. R. Charlie, great to have you aboard. Phil Brad is with us. Denise, I mentioned Denise. Texas Magi Dude, welcome. You should be blue the next time you say something. I'm hoping. I am hoping. Good to see all the smiling faces over at the Tube. We are 4 for 4. We are live everywhere that we are supposed to be live, and that is a great thing. That is a wonderful thing. I hope that you guys had a good weekend. I gotta say, it's Sunday, right? It's the end of a 2-day off period, and I am already telling you, this is going to be a bit of a short program. Your brother Zoe has got several things fighting him. Man, a week ago, I twisted my ankle at work. A week ago Monday, and it is still killing me. I mean, it's still swollen. I mean, this is an ankle that I've probably injured it 10 times in my life. But the worst time is when I dropped one of my motorcycles on it and shattered it into 11 pieces. And then the doctor put a non-walking cast on it. Non-walking. I was supposed to stay off of it for 8 weeks. And 3 weeks into it, I took a hacksaw and I hacksawed the cast off because I had to move and I couldn't get anybody to help me. So I walked on it. And I remember years later, the funny thing was a week after that, I did a similar thing and dumped my bike on the other side, breaking my right ankle into 4 pieces. Talk about bad luck striking. Who says lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place? When you're drinking and riding a motorcycle, yeah, anything can happen. So I remember going into my doctor for my first checkup, and he pulls out his little notebook and he looks up and he looks over at me and he looks back at his book and he goes, "That's not my cast. Whose cast is that?" And I said, "Well, that's from the sisters across the street over at, the hospital right there." "Well, where's my cast?" I said, "I had a hacksaw it off, doctor. I had to move, and, shit happens. You told me I couldn't walk on the cast, and I had to walk, so something had to give, and I chose the cast." He threw me out of his office, and he said to me, "When you're 50 and you can't walk, I want you to remember this moment." Well, I didn't have any problems at 50, but at 65, I can tell you I'm starting to hear the echoing of his words. Don't hacksaw your casts off early. If you break something, just see it on through. You'll figure it out. I mean, I don't know what I would have done. I couldn't hire a moving company, but some days are like that. Some days are like that. It's coming along. I can walk. I can walk. It just hurts like freaking hell. It hurts like hell. All right, we've said our hellos. We've looked around the horn. And like I said, this is probably going to be an abbreviated show because your brother Zoe is so shy on sleep right now. I am sleep deprived, and there's a pillow in there just screaming my freaking name. But not before we go over the importance of brothers and sisters. And when I say brothers and sisters, I include everybody. Everybody in this place. Okay, hard to hear me. Hard to hear me. Does that improve the volume at all? Can you tell me, does that improve the volume, Girl Patriot? Testing 1, 2. Let me know if that has anything to do with more volume. If it doesn't, there's something else I can do. But I could have sworn I had plenty of volume. Testing 1, 2. That I know will make it disgustingly loud. Are we good? 5 by 5. You can hear me much better? Okay. All right. We'll do that. I just don't want to be pegging the VU meters. I guess I'm within reason. Okay. If you're happy, I'm happy. If you're happy, I'm happy. Cynthia, good to see you sneaking on in. Dave Mick, what is going on? He says he's not feeling too good. He may have the flu. Davey, we'll just put you right on the old list. I hope you feel better soon, my brother. I really do. Angry Mary is with us. Hope you're doing wonderfully, my dear. She has her speaker up and hard to hear. Okay, so I'm hoping it's a lot better right now because it is blowing my eardrums out in my cans. Okay. I'm gonna call that good. I'm gonna call that good and keep my fingers crossed that we make our way. All right. Very good sound now. Okay. We like that. Let us, I can even hear the air conditioner playing in the background. That's how good it is. Now, you know, what's bothering me here is I have downloaded a very specific video, and damn it, I don't know what happened to it. I really don't know what happened to it. That is just ridiculous.
Why do we sail upon the mystery ship?
That's the one I want.
Because we never know where we'll go next.
That's the one I want, but I have the wrong window open. We're just going to go here. There we blow. There she blows. Okay. All right, much better. Now I'm prepared. I should have had that done ahead of time. Sorry, my people. But you know me, it's the mystery ship, and this is a work in progress. It always will be a work in progress. Let's reconvene here in 2 minutes and 21 seconds. I will see you on the other side of this wonderful piece of videotape right here. Don't go anywhere.
Why do we sail upon the mystery ship? Because we never know where we'll go next.
And it is at this time each and every week that I like to take a minute. I really do like to take a minute to thank the wonderful people who come and hang out on the mystery ship, for without you, there would be no sailing. There would be no reason to gather the troops. Why even have a ship? It's the beautiful people that come and hang out with us that make the ship worth sailing. And I'm talking to you, all of you. Thank you so much for your participation in this program. Thank you a step further if you are one of the ones who generously shares the lemon love and the gold pill love that occasionally pops into my view. I greatly appreciate you more than you'll ever know. It keeps the wind in the sails, you know. It does indeed. It does indeed. Some of you, I'm hoping that some of you have received your the badges that I sent out this past week. Those of you who won the Legalized Freedom badges. If you got your badge, put an X in the chat. I just want to see. You should have them by now, or we got a problem with the post office. But anyway, I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate so much the fact that you come and hang out here. It means the world to me. It really does. It really and truly does. Today was an interesting day. I spent the brunt of it just taking care of my Sundays are anything but a day off. I have so many things on my list. Boy, everybody has a list of things to do. My list is never ending. I'm not kidding you. I've got a stack of thank you cards sitting in on my desk. I got the address books right next to it. I need to sit down and spend 2 hours writing a bunch of thank you notes, but I have them purchased and they're sitting there and the stamps are right there, ready to go. I finally got to work on the Jeep today and put all of the final, now that I got it running, I drove it immediately after getting it running again, after running into some mailboxes, bought a whole new front end, put the whole new front end on, but I never got around to the final little rubber cap bumpers on the end. I should have run out. I should have taken a picture of it to put up in the air, but I didn't. Got that all together, and then when I bought that stuff, I ordered new ones for the back end of the truck, too. On the four corners of a Jeep Cherokee are these round rubber bumper corners. And I gotta say, she's looking pretty good. If my radiator didn't leak right now, I would be the happiest guy in the world, but I have two choices. Have a custom hose made, or put yet a third radiator in it. I'm leaning towards having a custom hose made. It's just, what a pain in the ass. What a pain in the ass it is. It used to be so much fun to work on your cars. Now I know how Willie Fix-It feels. You fix one thing, and you got to fix something else. And after you fix that, sometimes you need to grab a tool and use it, and you realize, oh my God, I've got to fix this tool before I can use it. I know Willie's been there. I know Willie has been there. Anyway, Jeep is coming along. Everything's groovy. This past week, I got a phone call from my sister who said they are pretty serious about moving, actually not moving, but buying a second home. Buying a second home. They currently live in Los Angeles, in a very, very nice part of Los Angeles, a place called Cheviot Hills, which is next to Holmby Hills, which is just south of Beverly Hills. If you've got a town and the word hills is attached to it, you can, Hollywood Hills, you can pretty much bet that it's sort of an elitist, you can almost smell the opulence. And anyway, they're looking at buying a home so they can get away. They're looking at a place called Bend, Oregon. Now, Bend is known for a bunch of things. Bend, Oregon is It's one of the bluer cities in the state. It is it's got a lot of young people there. It is side by side by side by side microbreweries, one after another, after another, after. I don't know how much craft beer a person can drink, but you could spend the rest of your life meandering through the streets of Bend, Oregon, and never sample all of the beers that are there. You couldn't. You couldn't. There's that many of them. And each place has 20 or 30 different beers, microbrews that they produce. So, but it's the high desert, okay? Bend, Oregon is the high desert. So it doesn't necessarily have the rows and rows of gorgeous trees that I show you when I'm riding through the national forest. There are trees. There most certainly are trees. A lot of pines. But there's a lot of scrub brush. I mean, imagine if you had a desert with trees that got a lot of snow. That is Bend, Oregon. Now, it is home. There's 3 mountains up there known as the Sisters. The Sisters. And that is where the best skiing in Oregon is. They had the first gondola up there 30, 40 years ago. It has always been renowned for phenomenal skiing. I've skied all over those mountains. Fantastic. It's a lovely place. It's a lovely place. The thing is, weather-wise, to me, this is in my humble opinion, there's like 3, maybe 4 good months of the year up there. The rest of the year is cold. It gets rainy, and you get a shitload of snow. I mean, a shitload of snow. If you are a construction worker, you got about 4 months to get everything done. Otherwise, man, you're going to be freezing your ass off. And when you are working in bad weather, you only produce half as much as you do when it's good weather. So their spring and their fall is more like, late and early winter. And their summers are cooking because it is the desert. Now, I have to admit, I'm curious. I really am. I don't know what my brother-in-law's attraction is to that area, because to me, there are so many beautiful places in Oregon that you could live. Myself, I like trees. I like trees. Let me show you what turns me on. I'm going to turn this way, and I learned something. I learned something about my phone. The last few times I've been trying to show you guys something, it hasn't come through because I realized I had my damn brightness turned way the hell up. This here. This was my drive home from Bend. This is my drive home. Look at these trees, okay? This is just outside of Crater Lake. There we go. This is just like 30 minutes from Crater Lake. Look at those trees, okay? Big, giant, huge, green, beautiful trees lining both sides of the freeway, of the highway, as far as you can see. Trees like that on these beautiful, beautiful green mountains covered with lush, beautiful trees. When I think of Oregon, that's what I think of, okay? I don't think of scrub brush. I don't. I know this, okay? My brother-in-law likes to fly fish. He loves to fly fish. He also likes to go four-wheeling in his Jeep. So maybe, just maybe, I am being short-sighted. Maybe I'm all wet. But to me, personally, if I was going to find a second home, particularly a getaway home, man, you would find me in the most lush, like a house on the river. A house on the river. Or a stone's throw from the beach. I went with my brother and sister. Let me show you a little picture here. This is my brother and my sister and I. If this was just taken Friday night, the three of us. Oh, what's going on here? Why is that so? There we are. I am the oldest. My brother Bob is in the middle. And my little sister Trini, her name is Alice, over on the side. So the three of us got together, and man, it had been a while. It had been a while since the three of us got together just to screw around. Just to screw around. We had a gas, and as brothers and sisters, as only brothers and sisters can do, we talked about, the good old days, growing up, and, the ridiculous things that we did growing up when I was a late teen and I went out in the mid-'70s and got an earring in my left ear. My dad was a solid 1940s, 1950s thinking kind of guy, and he hated long hair. He hated beards. He really, really had a problem with my brother and I growing our hair long, let alone I hid my tattoos for years in the 70s because I didn't want him to know that I had run out and gotten tattoos. He would have had a cow. But we sat at the same places at the dinner table every night, the same places every night. We did not eat until Dad got home. And once Dad got home, within 15 minutes, food was on the table. And I had fairly long hair back then. In fact, I had really long hair back then. And I was looking at my sister, and I'd gotten an earring in my left ear. And I pulled my hair back. My dad was to my right. My mother's to my left. I pulled my hair back so my sister could see my earring, and her eyes got as big around as pool cues because, let me tell you, first of all, in the 70s, only absolute dirtbags had tattoos, okay? There wasn't this whole art tattoo thing, sleeves and all that. That didn't happen until like the mid-'90s, all right? When tattoos became vogue. Prior to 1990, anybody with a tattoo was just a douchebag. And you're looking at one. But the earring thing, that simply wasn't done. Absolutely, positively, no way in fricking hell. And it seems so strange now because nowadays with, piercings and, oh my God, there are people that are just absolute freaks. I'm okay with people getting their freak on. I really am. I mean, I was getting my freak on back in the day. I did it in my own unique way. But nowadays, it just seems like anything goes. Anything freaking goes. And they've got to hand it to the young people today. They have stepped on the pedal from getting those embeds in their heads where they can, they can change out their horns for, whatever. And the piercings in the upper part of your cheek, and then the gauging of the ears, and man, these kids have left me in the dust. However weird and freaky I thought I was in the 70s, man, I'm nothing compared to these kids. That's why these days, I hide my tattoos. I, I, I don't show them. I just want to, kind of disappear into the background and pretend I'm not even there. But I enjoyed, getting my freak on. I really did. I did. Boy, can you see that sun glaring right into my face through the crack in the door of the garage? I'm gonna have to go plug that crack. Phil McCracken. Where is Phil McCracken when you need him? Anyway, my brother and sister and I had a wonderful time reminiscing, just telling stories, and for the last 48 hours, we have been texting like mad. I got home at the crack of dawn. I mean, absolutely the crack of dawn Saturday with no sleep. I think I got an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of sleep Friday night going into Saturday morning. I knew I was going to be worthless, but I had to do my morning show. That's my bread and butter. And after that, I slept the entire rest of the day, and I woke up this morning. That's how tired I was. We spent a day, a little bit more than 24 solar hours together, looking at houses for my sister and my brother-in-law. Very unique, very nice houses, some on golf courses, some with acreage. They have been looking for a house now for about 2 years. I must say they have one of the most patient real estate agents I've ever met. And I turned to the kid and I said, hey, don't you worry, you're going to land this fish, okay? You're going to land this fish, and it'll be a prize catch, I promise, But just got to find him the right one. We looked at some really, really cool houses. Really. I mean, 4 and 5 bedroom, detached garage, detached man cave, sitting in the living room, looking at the sisters, okay? What is it? The 3 main rules of real estate is location, location, location. Well, they are not messing around, my brother-in-law and my sister. They are looking at some very, very nice houses. Very nice houses. I hope they find what they want. I really do. Myself, if I was going to be spending 7 figures on a home, I would want it to be turnkey. I would want it to lack nothing. I wouldn't want to have to put any money into it. I think if it's a getaway house, that's what it should be. It should be a getaway, not let's get away up to our cabin and let's work on it this weekend. I don't think that's what they're all about. We found some great places. I mean, some really, really bitchin' homes, but each one of them had their own little nuances. One was a very unique home, very nice, on a nature preserve, meaning even though it was on 21 acres, you're only allowed to use 1.5 acres around the house. The rest of it is off limits to you. I'm like, really? You're gonna spend over $1 million and you're not even allowed to take your dogs outside? So I think that one went out the window. We found another just amazing house. Amazing house, but it has 3,000 square feet of deck going all around the house, interconnecting the 4 outbuildings that comprise this incredible place. But every one of the decks is sagging. As far as I'm concerned, it's firewood. They need to be leveled And before they can even rebuild, they've got some water issues that they need drainage, they need compaction, they need. So, again, do you really want to find yourself an escape and a getaway escape, and then go up there and have to work your ass off on it? I don't know. I'm hoping to get in touch with my brother-in-law and tell him what I think. I do want to share something with you. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah, let me see if I can forward this to myself. I should be able to. There we go. Let's try that. Let's try that. I'm hoping this comes through, because that way I can share with you. Gosh darn. Come on. Come on, Zoe. Get your shit together. Get it together, baby. Here it comes. Here it comes. Okay. Nope, that's not it. We'll refresh that site and try again. We'll try again. All right. I don't think it has arrived yet, but it will. It will. It will, and when it does, I will share it with you. Is it in my spam? No. Should be in my inbox. There we go. Oh boy. I can't win. Maybe I know what I can do. I know what I can do. I can punch this in. I can punch this in by hand. Let's do that. Let's do that. Here we go. Bear with me. Okay, let's see if that comes up. Let's see if that comes up when I hit enter. Come on now. There it is. There it is. All right, let me see what I can do about sharing this on my monitor with you. I'm going to have to reduce the size. I'm going to have to reduce the size, though. Oh. Oh, are you kidding me? I just lost it. I just lost it. No way. No way. All right, I got it back. Let me put it on this screen and let me shrink the screen so you can see this. Let me shrink the screen so you can see this. A little bit more. A little bit more, Zoe. All right. All right. So this right here. This is a very good friend of mine. He is selling his home. A very good friend of mine is selling his home. It is turnkey. It does not need anything. It is 10 minutes from some of the best fishing anywhere that you are going to find. Literally 10 minutes to the boat ramp. It's about 45 minutes to the Eugene Airport, which is a major hub. You can get to Vegas, you can get to LA, you can get to anywhere out of Eugene. Very nice airport. And it's about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes from the beach. A very nice place to live. It's also right in the middle of wine country. It is about 10 minutes from downtown Roseburg. If I was going to be spending 7 figures on a home, this is the kind of home that I would want to buy. Let me know your thoughts. Now, call me crazy, but to me, that looks like a getaway home in Oregon. If you wanted a getaway home in Oregon to escape the insanity that is Los Angeles and Hollywood, to me, that's what would turn me on. But my sister says, "Oh, he's just not the log cabin type." Okay. All right, to each his own. to each his own. But I mean, yeah, so the cave is unbelievable. The downstairs with the bar and the pool table, billiard room, and the pool table and the ping pong. That is when you're upstairs in the living room. There is actually a giant bookcase, and I mean a giant bookcase. And it's on bank vault hinges, and you actually you push the bookcase, and it opens up to reveal a hidden set of stairs that takes you down into the bunker under the house, and that's where all the carved. Years ago, I worked on that house. I helped build all of that, carve all of that, pour those concrete floors, all that good stuff. I worked on that house for quite some time. I was in on the build of it. Those logs are from when those logs were just starting to grow. That's when King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table were gathering. Okay, that's when those were little tiny trees. So, to me, that would be my idea of want to get away. that to me is my idea of a getaway. But more importantly than the home, more importantly, I mean, I love the fact that my sister wants to move up here. I think that's fantastic. My brother, surprisingly, after 28 years, is also selling his home in Los Angeles. And to be honest with you, I'd like to see him move up here as well. My brother also loves fishing. And if you're a river guy, I mean, that's what Oregon is all about. There are fish as big as my leg right down the road a piece. You know, we're all of us, everyone in my sister is about to turn 60, or she just turned 60. So she's the youngest. So, I mean, what the hell? You know, we're in our golden years. Let's make the most of it, if you ask me. Let's, yeah. Oh, Jerry said hi. Tell him I said hello. Good to see you. Good to see you, Erica. Hope everything is good in your world. Yes, see, your world up there in Maine, that's the kind of place I would find as a refuge from the daily insanity. I understand them needing to be within, you know, a couple-hour flight of Los Angeles due to the nature of my brother-in-law's work. He is a major wheel in media. A major wheel. He also, and I'm rather proud to say this, you're all familiar with the, before Disney went to hell, there was the National Treasure movie series with Nick the crazy guy. My brother-in-law wrote those stories. In fact, there are 5 of them. There are the original story and 4 sequels. But Nick is such a wild man that they haven't been able to corral him into shooting the 3rd movie. And let's just say Pops ain't getting any younger, you know? So I don't know if it'll ever happen. A couple years ago, they had it on the line. I thought they were moving forward with the third adventure in the National Treasure series. But my brother-in-law wrote that, and he helped produce it. His production company is all over that, and I mean, the story is great. Of course, they take your story and they say, "Thanks a lot, kid. That's really nice. Now we're going to make it. Now we're going to make it a Disney movie." So. It's hardly what he envisioned, but you know, when you sign on the dotted line, sometimes you give up power for money, and sometimes you give up money for power. I think all I can say is I think they're happy. So good for them. I really do hope they at least make the 3rd installment. I hope they make the 3rd installment. Man. But the important thing here, and the thing that I wanted to bring up tonight, was it had been, unfortunately, it had been almost 5 years since I saw my sister. Now, it's not because there's no rift, we love each other. We have absolutely we're both just extremely busy. The nature of my work, I work 60, sometimes 70 hours a week, and it is sun up to sundown. I mean, you can ask Mrs. Zoe. We barely see each other Monday through Friday, just because that's what I do for a living. It is at a minimum 12 hours from the time I leave my house to the time I come home each and every day. That's just the way it is. But I'm very fortunate to be working for a great company, and I have a very lucrative job, and I'm very happy with it. There are a lot of people who would like to be in my shoes right now. So, you know, you take your pluses, you take your minuses. It affords me a lot of good things, you know. So I have no complaints about what I do for a living. But it does it does tax my time, my free time. That's why, I need my one weekend day off to work on my Jeep or to do some editing or to tie dye some shirts. I mean, my free time is down to, yeah. This is how much free time I have right here, right there. That's how much free time I have. I have to make good use of it. But it did make me realize how important it is that the three of us, my brother, my sister, and I, stay in touch. Whether it's just a silly little text each and every day, or a GIF, or forwarding an interesting video, something to let them know I'm thinking about you and you are important in my life. Now, this is not to say that other people in my life aren't equally as important. I try my very best, I really do, to reach out and return phone calls and return emails and shoot back a text as much as possible. But I'll be the first to say there's some things I'm really good at. Checking my email daily isn't necessarily one of them, and I have to say, checking my DMs on Foxhole is that's some place where I'm really, 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 really bad, really bad. In fact, I'm looking right now. I have 38 unanswered DMs over at Pilled Foxhole, and it's not that I would happily respond to each and every one of these. I'm lousy at finding the time. I have to make time. But making time for your family, and by family, I'm not talking about the immediate nuclear family that you're part of, whether you are a husband, whether you are a wife, whether you are a young child. The family unit, the nuclear family that most of us have been fortunate enough to be raised in, needs consideration, folks. We need, in order to continue that type of lifestyle and see it flourish once again in the United States, we need to constantly remind ourselves of its value, because I can tell you about dozens of my friends, of my cousins, of co-workers who say to me, "Oh, I haven't talked to my brother in 20 years. Oh, haven't seen, nope. Yeah, I got a brother, I got a sister, I don't talk to him anymore." That story, I can echo it person after person after person. And really, when you stop and think about it, I mean, whatever your issues might be with your brothers and sisters, I'm hoping you don't have any. I'm really hoping that you don't have any. They're the only brothers and sisters that you have. You're not getting any more, okay? From the time you were raised knee-high to a grasshopper, you might have had an older brother, an older sister, a younger brother, a younger sister. And at one point, you were probably pretty close. I understand that as people get older, and particularly once the parents have kind of moved on, shall we say, there can be some very unfortunate rifts. It's really, really sad how, I'm sorry, there's only one word I can use for it, okay? There's only one word I can use for it. It's very sad how greed can destroy a family. I made it very clear to my dad when I knew he was moving on. I said, Dad, you know, I like some of the stuff you have here, you know, but you don't have to worry about me. I work my ass off. All right. I've worked for every last thing I have. I don't have much, but just about everything I have, I've worked for and paid for myself. Nobody gave me anything. I said, you got a couple of nice little trinkets around here that I might like to have, you know. There was this old hand hammered copper coffee pot, and it was two pieces, and it was a neat little device. You could put coffee in one end and you screw it on, and you literally, the copper pot, you would heat up just a single cup of coffee, and then you would turn this thing over and pour the hot water into it and then filter it back in. It was just this old little Italian trinket that came from his family somewhere. I said, you know, I might like to have that on my dresser just to remind me of my youth. But, you know, all of your fancy toys, Dad, the Mercedes and all that crap, I don't need any of that. I don't. I've got what I need. And I've seen that. I've seen brothers and sisters torn apart by wills, and particularly like if one member of the family is made executor of the will when a mom and dad have moved on, it's very sad. It can cause a split in the family. And one thing my brother and sister and I turned to each other and said the other day is, we're always going to have each other, right? And we all agreed. There is absolutely nothing in this world that will ever drive us apart. Nothing. And I would just wish that would be the same sentiment among all of you with your siblings. I know I've spoken with one or two of you who have shared with me that, you know, either the family has written you off, or you have a brother you're not talking to anymore, or a sister you're not talking to. And I beg of you to find a way to extend an olive branch and regain favor with your immediate family if you are in that position. For those of you who are, you know what, I want to know this. I want to know this right now. If you are still close with your brothers and your sisters right now, if you are still close with your brothers and your sisters, give me a triple X in the chat. Give me an XXX. I want to know how many of you are still either at least talking to or still very close with your family members. If you are either of those two things, still talking with your brothers and sisters or very close with your brothers and sisters, I invite you, please put a triple X in the chat. I just want to see where we're at, what kind of percentages we have out there. I'm hoping for a whole bunch of X's. I really am. I really am. That's beautiful. That is awesome. Look at that. I'm seeing triple X's out there. I am seeing lots of folks. You're going to make this old biker. That's beautiful. Mad Poke says triple X. We don't talk enough, but there are no disputes. That is exactly what I hope for. Oh, man. Let me look this up here. Let me look this up. Gloria said she just sent me a picture. I can only imagine it's a picture of her with her sisters. Okay, my inbox is it takes a second to refresh. It takes a second to refresh. Good. Good. That is wonderful. We have someone here says, my sister is estranged, but still talk to both my brothers often. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Another person says, my sister may move from Brooklyn to the farm. That's the farm where the person lives. We're praying. She's thinking about it. That would be wonderful. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Okay. All right. I'm seeing X's over here. Oh my God, that's wonderful. I'm seeing X's over here on Pilled Foxhole. Folks, I cannot tell you how important it is. I have to share something with you. On my father's side of the family, my grandfather, who I never met, he died before I was born, and my grandmother, okay, these two came over in the early 1920s on a boat, went through Ellis Island, learned to speak English, saved up a ton of money from Italy, came over on the boat, bought themselves a little place, raised a family, had a bunch of kids, I think 6 kids, and made a stab at being Americans, and because they grew up poor, and I'm not saying slums poor, but they had 13 acres in downtown New Jersey, okay? Downtown Cedar Grove, New Jersey. My grandfather had a farm. He worked it. They had a fruit stand out front. He also worked in the steel industry. He created that giant mammoth cage on the top of the Empire State Building. My grandfather helped build that. He was a giant of a man, 6'9", gigantic son of a gun. He made it through the Great Depression, when they were only hiring 1 out of 100 men, and he walks up in line and he's 18 inches taller than everybody else around. They said, "Give me the big guy. I'll take that big guy. Yeah, come here." He never missed a day of work. But they didn't have a lot, okay? They didn't have a whole lot. My mother's side of the family, they were gazillionaires, okay? Gazillionaires. So they coasted through the Great Depression. But on my father's side of the family, because of the fact that they grew up wishing that they had more, each and every family member, every one of those brothers and sisters worked their asses off, to be successful. And every single one of them were super achievers. My father, both of my uncles, both of my aunts, super achievers. All worked in New York City. My uncle's company at one time had the entire top floor of the Chrysler Building in New York City. My other uncle owned a company called Pipeco, multi-millionaire. Had the first Ferrari Daytona in 1970 in New Jersey. So none of them needed anything, okay? None of them needed anything from one another. But here's a silly thing. Gloria, I'm refreshing, and I wonder, did you text it to me? Maybe you texted it to me, or did you Did you send it on Telegram or something? I'm looking for the photo you sent me. I'm looking for the photo you sent me, Gloria. Where could that be? Where could that be? Anyway. When the mother and father had passed on, okay, there was the final thing left was the farm property in New Jersey. And this little lump of land, which was once a working farm in the 40s and 50s and early 60s, by the time it reached the 90s, the entire city had grown up around it. There was a post office across the street, giant buildings going everywhere. They were getting offers on that property for $5 million, $6 million. And there was a rift. There was a rift between the youngest brother and the youngest sister. Neither one of them needed the money. Neither one of them. The brother wanted the sister to sell. The sister was still living on the property, but she could afford to go anywhere she wanted. She had an incredible apartment, Upper West Side. When she went to work, she stayed Monday through Friday in Manhattan and spent her weekends down at the childhood farm that she grew up in. But because of the fact that the brother was so adamant about them selling the property, she said, I don't want to sell. And it's the saddest thing I ever saw. Those two people, a brother and a sister, my uncle and my aunt, didn't speak for 35 years. For 35 years, they refused to speak to one another over the property that neither one of them needed. It didn't matter if it sold for $1 million or if it sold for $5 million. They had money. It was stubbornness. It was stubbornness. And it just, the very thought of it, the very thought of it makes me ill. Because, folks, those of you who profess to be Christians or believers, the very essence of our faith calls for us to believe in a Savior who died for our sins. His horrific death on the cross washed away everything that we did wrong. We were forgiven. Through his blood, we were forgiven. Our Father in heaven accepted his sacrifice for our sins. And because of that, we are all stain free. Why any of us should harbor a grudge or carry to our grave some kind of misgiving with one of our siblings, to me, just feels wrong. It just feels wrong. So I'm going to end this show a little early tonight, and all I really want to say is, if by chance any of you still have brothers and sisters who are alive out there, and maybe you're estranged for some reason, I beg of you to consider reaching out, being the bigger person, extending that olive branch, and try to build a bridge where there once was none, because you only get one family on this go-around. And I am so blessed. I'm so blessed to have a brother and sister that have forgiven me my multitude of sins, and believe me, they are many. They are many. I've done some things I'm really not very proud of in my lifetime, but I'm forgiven. And man, I hope that all of you, I hope that those of you who are tight with your brothers and sisters, give them a hug from me, would you? Give them a hug from me. Tell your brothers and sisters that I think you are one of the greatest people I know. And I really mean that. I really mean that. Here we go. Here we go. Gloria sent a picture, and here it is. Hey, this is Gloria's mom. That's awesome. That is awesome. There is Gloria's mom celebrating her 92nd birthday. How about that? Wow. That is phenomenal. She looks great. Holy smokes. I'll be danged. Well, that is wonderful, Gloria. That is great. That is fantastic. You just made my show. You made my show. Folks, I'm asking that those of you who may have issues between brothers and sisters, that you find a way to solve those problems before it's too late. You know, let it go. Let it go. There is no mountain too high. I'm going to pray for those of you who may have trouble. Heavenly Father, I give you thanks and praise, Lord. I thank you. I thank you for the opportunity this week to spend time with my brother and sister and come to the realization of how critically important they are in my life. And Father, I pray for those who may have brothers and sisters who aren't incredibly close. Father, I pray that you would find a way to close any kind of gap between them and bring them back together, Father, allowing each party to forgive the other, whatever needs forgiving. The entire premise of our faith is based on forgiveness. Father, I ask that you mend every fence, rebuild every bridge, throw a rope across every chasm to reunite those who may be disassociated from their immediate family. Lord, hear my prayer this evening. I give you thanks and praise through the blood of your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. All right, there's a number of people out there who are in need of prayer, and I want to run down the list very quickly. There's a guy by the name of Razor. He is recovering from spinal surgery. Please keep Razor in your prayer that he heals up good as new. Our buddy Dave Mick just let us know. Dave Mick just let us know that he's not feeling too good. As you know, Dave Mick has been battling leukemia. He's got it on the ropes right now. He's doing pretty good, but it's going to be a lifelong endeavor. It's not one and done. That is a very touch and go scenario. Please keep our dear brother Dave Mick in your prayers, that he is made good as new. I see our sister Peggy Dancer out there. I know that she has had her struggles in the last 2 years. I would ask you to please keep Peggy in your prayers, that her health is made well again. I see my brother T.L. Spud, and I can't help but think of his lovely wife, LaDonna. I would like to ask us to continue to pray for LaDonna. She got over a scary little hump here about 8 weeks ago. It's enough to give TL some gray hair. I would ask us to please keep LaDonna in our prayers, that she men's good as new, good as new. Our friend Val Kimber is here. Val personally has had some struggles as of late, and I know that he's been caregiving for his mother, who is also in need of our prayers. Please keep the Kimber family in your prayers if you would. Val and his mother. Our brother, the Batman. I want you to please pray for the Batman and his mother. His mother has the onset of Alzheimer's and has good and bad days. Bruce, meanwhile, is healing up from. He's been going around with a neck brace on for the last 4 to 6 weeks. He's just recently taken the neck brace off. I spoke with him this week. He's got some healing to do, folks. He's got some healing to do. Please, that God wraps his loving arms around him and heals him good as new would be my request. Our friend Artist61 alerted us to a young woman by the name of Carrie. Carrie is a early 30s woman with several children and a loving husband, and this girl has been diagnosed with 2 different types of cancer. I ask that we pray for her and that she receives a full healing. A full healing. Blows the doctors. I want the doctors to be astounded and not be able to explain how she was healed, but she was healed by our prayer. Please keep Carrie in your prayers if you would. One of our original sailors over at the Foxhole, a wonderful lady by the name of Kay Roney, has been battling cancer. I would like us to please keep Kay Roney in our prayers, please. Our dear brother Gary Flessner. Gary is really, folks, we need to pray for Gary's strength. I pray that Gary is made strong enough to return to his home and his dignity. He is in a very difficult situation. He is in a nursing home where he is not receiving the kind of care he needs, and no amount of money or anything is going to miraculously save him. He needs our prayer. Please pray for Gary's strength, that it be returned, that God reaches down and zaps him back his strength. Gary used to be the strongest man on the planet, and he's really hurting right now. Please keep Gary in your prayers. Our dear sister Leah Worth. She's another one who she never complains, never lets on just how difficult her life is, but she's got a row to hoe each and every day of her life, and she's taking care of her mom who lives right next door to her. Please keep Leah Worth in your daily prayers, that in some small way her burden is lessened, and that God blesses her mother with good health. Oh. We have a friend in the chat, SSDD69. She says her mom has dementia. Let's add her mother, or his mother, that person's mother, to our prayer list. Dementia is a difficult, God, it is such a difficult disease. It is so difficult. Prayers for every parent dealing with dementia. It really is a very difficult thing to witness as someone progresses. I've seen it firsthand, run the entire gamut, and it is, folks, it is disheartening. All right, folks, we're going to get out of here. We are going to get right on out of here. It has been a lovely evening. I'm letting you go just a wee bit early tonight. I have a bunch of sailors that I want to share with you. Some good people. Some good old peeps. Somewhere right in here. Somewhere right in here, so there it is. There it is. It's coming up. It's coming up. I'm getting to the good part. I'm getting to the good part of the video. I swear to God I am. Come on. There it is. There it is. Boom. Bingo. Bingo. All right. I've got the people queued up. I've got the music queued up. Folks, I wish each and every one of you a wonderful rest of your week. I hope that you'll think about what I mentioned tonight. If you, for some reason, have some kind of rift with someone in your family, I pray that God heals the situation and that you're able to reconnect and rejoin with your brothers and sisters, because you know we only go through this life one time, and we're born into these families that are so special, each and every one of us. I pray for those who aren't tight, and I'm thrilled to death for those of you who are tight with your brothers and sisters. May God continue to bless you guys. May God continue to bless you all. I'm going to boogie on out of here. Have a wonderful week ahead. Oh, let's release the scratching. Let's not forget that. And then over here at D Live, of course, we have this thing called the treasure chest. And your brother Zoe likes to add a little something to that treasure chest. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let's throw a little something in that treasure chest to make it a treasure chest worth winning. All right. I've just pumped it up. I've pumped it up, and I am distributing the treasure chest right now. Here it comes. There's almost 600 lemons in it. It's coming your way, people. I hope that you win some lemons. I hope you win some lemons. It's 12 seconds out. 12 seconds out. All right. There we go. The gold pills are scratching. I see it. We're having some. Yep. That is excellent. That is excellent. Hey, I even won a gold pill. That's excellent. All right. Tonight's winners of the lemons are Gloria Paddock. My name is D. Peggy Dancer. Cosmic Grandpa. Good to see you on the list, buddy. And Bad Zoot. Congratulations, you guys. That's fantastic. That's freaking fantastic. That's awesome. That is awesome. Good for you guys. All right, Brother Zoe, getting on out of here. I am getting on out of here. I love each and every one of you. Have a great week ahead. We will see you Wednesday night, my friends. Wednesday night. Stay out of trouble, would you? Stay out of trouble. And if you do find trouble, I hope you'll find me, because I always like to share along in that trouble.